Hey guys, it's Gina. Today I am working on the 27-day challenge from MercyTiara, and she has a Facebook group and she posted on her blog, I think. I'm sorry about that noise. It's the washer and dryer is right back there and the washer is going through the spin cycle, so I'm sorry about that. But here are the outline. It's a recipe this month, and so the requirements are one black and white 5x7 photo of yourself. So I have this 5x7 photo of myself right here. I think it's almost impossible for me to take a serious photo. One or more 6x6 paper pads. So I have these three that I pulled out. Now obviously these two may work. This one, crepe paper, is always sort of a cream background, but I might be able to incorporate them somehow together. So I have those, and the requirements is a page of floral variety and a page of striped variety. So in this pack, we have florals. That's a cool floral. And then in this Heidi Swap pack here, we have some stripes of different kinds. There's another stripe, and there's a floral too. I may just use this pack. I'll see what happens. But so those packs, those 6x6 paper packs that I have meet those. We need a sketch. So I just Googled scrapbook sketches, and I don't use sketches a lot, but let's see if you can see this one. I really like this, and it's by Inspired Blueprints, and it says sketches to build on. I think I found it on Pinterest somewhere, but I really like this because even though they're using a 4x4 photo, I thought that I could just, that entire block there could just be my 5x7 photo, and it's super simple. So I'm liking that, so I'm gonna see. And then what else do I need? So one sketch, and then they said mist buttons, wood veneers, enamel dots, Nouveau crystal dots to taste. So I have some buttons here. I have some flair. I have a couple of sticker packs that I thought I might use. We'll see. I have some of these plastic acrylic shapes from Oh Dear Me. And then on my sketch, as you can see, maybe I should take that off of there. On my sketch, there's this background that looks sort of like paint behind it. So once I figure out what papers I'm going to use, I'm actually doing a layout on white cardstock. Eek! I don't do that a whole lot, but I pulled out, I have these watercolors sitting back here, and these are Mission, I think they're called Mission. Yeah, Mission Artist watercolors. And then I also pulled out these inklings here and some gesso. And so I'm going to see about getting this done. I'm going to get started, and thanks so much for watching. Hey guys, so I'm going to run through this layout, I hope quickly. It took a little while to make, so you saw there really quick because I cut most of it out, and this is going super quick because nobody really wants to watch me put watercolor on paper. So I covered the background paper with gesso, and I didn't smooth it all down, so there is some texture on that background. And here I'm just using these colors from Shimmers, and I made sure that I used all dazzlers here. So they have dazzlers, no, not the dazzlers, so they have creamies and inklings in these small little tubs. And so I'm using all inklings here. The creamies don't have as much sheen to them. So I'm using the inklings, and I pulled out these colors that go from like a, I don't know what you would call that color. It's not turquoise, because turquoise is a different color. Teal, maybe? Like the sea kind of greeny, bluish, whatever. And then the second color I chose is not giving me the coverage that I wanted. The first one went on great, and I don't know, the cake inside that container is kind of chalky, so I don't know if there's something wrong with it, or the rest of them do not work like that at all. So I don't know what was wrong with that, or maybe it is just that soft, that very, very soft color. I'm not sure. Normally you get better coverage with shimmers than that, so I don't know what happened with that second color there, but
I just went on. I was like, I don't want to play with this anymore. I'm going to move on to something else. So I went through with the yellow and with the two pink colors that I have here. And I'm actually going to go down to that second row and just add the green in it. So it's a different color than what's on the bottom, but it will then fill up that whole space. So you saw the sketch at the beginning, and I have a confession to make where sketches are concerned. I try to use them all the time. And then you're going to see here, this is what happens. So anyway, I am just using these, and I'm actually dabbing a lot of the color off because I don't want it to look perfect. I want it to be a bit messy, and so and splotchy. That's the kind of thing I was going for. So I went back through, and I'm just adding color, spraying it with water, adding more color, dabbing it off until I'm happy with how the colors are showing up here. And I went back to that original pot of paint, but I still couldn't get it to work. So I just gave up and went with this green color here, and I'm just going to futz around with this for a while. Futz is my newest word. I'm going to futz around with it. I don't even know I don't know where that, I'm going to have to, Shelly, she always talks about going to Google school. I'm going to have to go to Google school and figure out what that is. So I decided to go with the Heidi Swap papers as opposed to the other two 6x6 paper pads that I had. I just felt like the colors went better with this. And I did want the picture to be completely framed with these different pattern papers, so I'm sticking with the challenge. There's the stripe and there's the floral. Following the sketch is a little bit of an issue, but I did my best. There's paint behind the photo. The photo's kind of centered on the page. Hey, we're following the sketch, all right? So here's the biggest problem I always have with layering papers is how do you remember where they go, and the easiest way to stick them down and, onto each other. So I still don't know the answer to that question, but that's what I did for this one. And now I'm just using some cardboard that I've cut off of shipping boxes. When you're a scrapbooker and you shop as much as I do, you have plenty of cardboard laying around. I'm supposed to be on a no spending thing, so I haven't been spending money on scrapbooking supplies. I've been spending it on all kinds of stuff. So I centered that picture, and this was I really wanted to do this. Sticker set's been in my stash forever, but I wanted to use this phrase called Crazy Daisy because let's be honest, you guys, that photo is a little bit nuts. And I really wanted to use those fabric stickers that spelt out Real Me, but using a 5x7 photo, which was one of the requirements of the challenge, takes up a lot of room on the page. And so I didn't have room to put that Real Me, but that is kind of the whole impetus of this scrapbook page, is that, acting crazy and silly and kind of nuts like this is really the real me. Really the real me. That's what I should have named the page. So here I'm going off sketch here. So I added a chipboard thing there. It's a phrase. I think that's from, that like $1 spot at Joann's, Studio 112 maybe, something like that. I think that's where it's from. Somewhere like that. And I added some flair. One is a little pink with a little heart. And those flair came from Scraptastic in a kit like 1,010 years ago. I haven't subscribed to Scraptastic in a long time. So I had this black lace trim kind of stuff sitting on my desk. And I just thought, you know what? I'm going to use that up. And so I decided that I was just going to wrap this around the majority of this cluster in the middle of my page. So the only part that will kind of not have that is over where that chipboard is that says "Go forth and be fabulous," and then also right where the title is, and then it kind of comes off of the page on that right hand side there. So I'm using my hot glue, my favorite, but you know why I love it? I think I've said this in like my last 3 videos or something. When you put stuff down with hot glue, it just stays there. And that can be both a blessing and a curse, but in this situation, it was a blessing. So I have Crazy Daisy there, and there's where I went, that Real Me, not gonna fit on this layout, so I'll have to use that some other time. I did pull those buttons out, but they didn't work with the color scheme that I ended up going with. I'm looking through some stickers that I've had laying around for a long time, and then I finally settled on some of these Tim Holtz word stickers, and I put those on the page, and now I'm looking for my title, which I want it to say something like The Real Me. I think that's what it ends up being. I need to stop doing voiceovers when I don't have the layout in front of me. But that's just between me and you. So I'm going through these old My Mind's Eye letter stickers to see if I can find... There's only one place the title can go in my mind. And it's in this little portion underneath where Crazy Daisy is. Because I needed to fill that space with something. Because with that trim running off of the edge there and then around part of the page, there had to be a reason why that trim didn't go up to the title. And the only reason was, the only reason was the hot glue. Because I hot glued it down there, so it was not going to move no matter if I wanted it to or not. So I needed to fill that space in between Crazy Daisy and that trim with something that I felt was significant. And hey, let's go with the title. So, but it's right under that Crazy Daisy, so it's kind of like the Crazy Daisy. It says Crazy Daisy, The Real Me, which kind of works. So I had to cut down those My Mind's Eye block stickers a little bit because they were still a little bit too big for that space. And then there is that weird, awkward space right next to the edge of the page. So then I remembered that I pulled out these freckled fawn acrylic shapes, and I was lucky enough to remember that because then that solved my problem about what I was going to put on as additional embellishment. So I started trying to use that liquid glue there, and then just went back to my hot glue. But one of the cool things that I realized after I do this one is that I realized it before I put the hot glue on that one acrylic shape, but I realized that there's a plastic coating on top of those acrylic shapes, and if you leave those on while you're playing with the hot glue, when you pull them off, whatever hot glue got where you don't want it, it comes off too. How about that? So I was able to use my hot glue but not mess up my acrylic shapes because I put it all down, but then I pulled that plastic coating off, and that took whatever sort of glue that was left or that had come over the sides off of those acrylic shapes, so they keep their shininess until they go into a page protector, which may be next year. So I'm going to keep saying next year, and then it's going to be like December, and next year is not going to be far away. But anyway, so I decided that this paper was a bit too deformed. That's not the word. Whatever. According to me, it was deformed. So I wanted to put it on another piece of 12 by 12 paper, and instead of just putting it on the back of a 12 by 12 piece of paper, I decided that I'm going to use a border punch down that left-hand side. So I just used that scallop border punch from EK Success, and I apologize for my hair here. I'm actually dressed when I'm scrapbooking this. Shockingly enough, I did this actually while I was on lunch from work, because my lunch desk sits on one side of my room. Not my lunch desk. My work desk sits on one side of my room. My scrap desk sits on another. So I just got up for lunch and decided I didn't want to eat. I was going to make a scrapbook page. So I ate later. I did. So anyway, and then I'm going to do the journaling here, and the journaling just says that, it's October of 2016, I'm 40 years old, and I finally realized that what other people say, I can be crazy, I can be silly, I can be anything I want. I can be sad, I can care too much, I can do all of these things, and no one else's opinion of any of that matters. I guess except for Stu's. But even he has choices if he doesn't like it, So it's just all about, I guess the point is having a happy marriage means that person accepts all those parts of you, but that's a whole nother layout. But so I'm just journaling about how it's taken me like 40 years to realize that no one else's opinion matters but mine. At least as far as, how I am or how I act. So that was the whole gist of the journaling. I'm going to use some of this really strong adhesive here. I wish I could remember the name of it. And of course I can't get it right on the paper. Look at that. Anyway, so I'm going to add this, and of course I don't want to add it down the side where those scallops are, so I remembered to do that correctly. So I'm just going to line it up, and like you've seen me do on other videos, I take only one side of that really tough adhesive off, the backing paper off at a time, so then I can press it all down. And you don't see much of that on the left-hand side there, but you see enough, and I like how it balances out with the black of that trim. So here's some close-ups, and so you can see, I use that word sticker there that says "Be you bravely." There's "Go forth and be fabulous." Just crazy enough. And there's the journaling. And then this is the real me, love it, crazy daisy. And that's it. So I'm going to finish this up. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time. Take care. Bye.